the UK is missing out on £1 billion by not legalising recreational cannabis. New research conducted by Prohibition Partners shows that the UK's medical market could be worth nearly £500 million by 2026. That's nearly a quarter of the European total. But Boris & Co, to get their asses in gear, legalise it fully by 2024, be up and running, we'd be banking an additional £623 million by 2026. So we put it to you, Thermodogs. Could the UK be a leading light in the global cannabis sector? Let's find out.
There is absolutely no reason why the UK can't be a leading light within the global cannabis market, and I think, yeah, events like this obviously are super important. And putting our flag in the sand within London specifically, you know, in this beautiful venue, in this beautiful location with some incredible people as well, and making sure that we're facilitating the conversations that are necessary to drive not only Europe forward, but cannabis across the UK as well. And you know, the feedback we've had from everybody has been fantastic in that regard as well. You know, we've really made some important connections between you know, all different corners of the industry here this couple of days.
I think we've got 30 countries represented here for Cannabis Europa over the last 2 days. All of the delegates here seem to have had a really great time. We'll wait for the feedback, but I'm sure it's been great. And yeah, just interesting conversations and just driving that industry forward and making those decisions and those connections between people that can make the difference and should.
I was chatting to Adam Smith from The Independent earlier, and he was saying, wow, I didn't realise there was so much innovation in the cannabis space, and he's the sort of senior science and tech reporter for The Independent. So to hear someone like him, who's writing about this stuff all the time, say something like that about the industry, not only here but in Europe, and his surprise for that, I think, you know, there's a lot of doors to be opened, and hopefully we are helping to do so.
We do need to get more domestic licences here for cultivation. This is one of the biggest kind of issues. We haven't actually got a domestic license, domestic supply within the UK. At the moment, everything's imported, so consistency of supply isn't there. We're not fully in control of the supply chain, which increases costs as well. There's a number of things that really do need changing as well. Stigma and the education with the doctors as well. I think doctors are still quite scared of prescribing cannabis because the lack of understanding of it, and just there is so many different cultivars that they don't understand and the whole science behind it.
I think that we're still having some issues fighting and determining terminology. Like, we really want to fit what medical means versus, you know, recreational or non-medical. And I think that those, until we stop being so stringent with those definitions, that we're going to not have the ability to make progress.
I think when we look at the cannabis sector and the cannabis industry in general, it's really bifurcating. And you have the adult use markets, which are prevalent obviously in North America, and we have the more medicinal markets that are more prevalent in Europe. And I think the UK and London in particular has a crucial part to play in the clinical trials, in the funding aspect, and the proliferation of medical cannabis on the European continent.
I think the UK definitely has quite a lot of potential in the global cannabis sector. I think there's a lot of industry expertise that we have in the UK, from pharmaceuticals to kind of agriculture, horticulture, that can easily be transferred. I think there's a few kind of changes that need to happen to unlock that potential, like some home office licensing changes, and also some kind of tweaks in our general kind of policy to cannabis and social kind of acceptance. But I think it's definitely increasing, and the UK has become quite a hub for cannabis investment. You see several listings on the London Stock Exchange, you've seen quite a lot of IPOs, and then you've also seen quite a lot of interest in private equity companies and quite a lot of M&A in the UK as well. So definitely I think it's a really exciting space to watch, and hopefully a lot of reform kind of in the next few years coming there too.
I believe that the opportunity for the European market is very large. I believe the opportunity in the UK market is very large. This is a nation filled with innovative, intelligent people who can come up with new solutions to old problems.
There is certainly an opportunity, but the truth is that you have to turn the corner with getting doctors to prescribe and really overcome that stigma that seems to be blocking everything, and that's also a political problem. So there are some dominoes that if they fall right, absolutely the opportunity is there. The truth is that right now Germany is certainly trying to seize the moment and be that leading light, but the UK, with a few adjustments, I think certainly has that kind of potential as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt the UK could be a leading light in the cannabis field generally. That's from hemp to over-the-counter CBD to medical and eventually probably recreational. Why do I say that? It's because it's got a very good infrastructure already. It's got a lot of investment so far in the industry. It needs more. There's lots more the government could do to make it easier to invest, but actually it's got a great potential. And it's going to build on its scientific base, looking at the basics of the endocannabinoid system. There's a lot of fundamental work done here in the UK. So we've got a very solid scientific community, and we've got a very solid medical community. They do need to be a little bit more attuned to cannabis than they are at the moment, in fairness. And we have now and should have better legislative framework in the future. So we're in a position to learn from the countries that are ahead of us. In Germany, for example, I think we can learn from their mistakes, and we could develop this as a great UK industry. The best estimate is over 100,000 jobs, something like $500 billion of tax income. And we can't, indeed, post-Brexit, post-COVID days, we can't ignore job opportunities, and we can't ignore income opportunities. And so I think if you ignore the medical benefits just for a moment, if you just look at the economic benefits, they're unarguable.
I felt like a polyphonic ringtone earlier. Now I feel like a thought leader. I'm a thought leader in the space. I don't know what space, but I'm just going to do that a bit.